morning, everybody. I thought I would go over um, filling up my GreenStalk today, trying to get it prepared for planting. Unfortunately, we've had some crazy weather here in Oklahoma, and I was going to do this last week, and unfortunately, we had a week's worth of rain, about 4 inches, and we had a lot of wind, which wrecked some of my equipment. But that's okay. My GreenStalk survived. This particular one I had not filled up yet. Another one I have, and I just thought I would go through and show you guys how I do this and let you in on the fact that I have a discount code for GreenStalks. So I've partnered up with them. I think they're well worth it. They're great for propagating. They're great for just growing vegetables and flowers. Um, and I thought that you guys might appreciate the information. I do my GreenStalks a little bit different than some people. Um, I start with leaves. They compact really easy. They'll biodegrade really easy. It's one way to get rid of the leaves that you have left over from the fall, but use them practically. And so I start with leaves and I put them inside my GreenStalk. You can see this here. And you will notice that this is pretty wobbly at the moment, and that's because there's not a lot of weight in the top just yet. What you have to do is make sure that all your feet are lined up correctly, and you'll notice it being a little unstable. But the moment you start adding soil and weight to this container, it will stabilize, and then you don't have to worry about that anymore. Next, what I do is I add soil. The leaves help me save money on soil. Each one of these GreenStalk sections hold a lot of soil. Um, Probably 1 to 2 bags per section. That adds up quick. And I know right now money's tight for everybody. So one way to go about saving a little money is repurposing soil you already have in another container, which is what I'm doing here. This bag is starting to fall apart on me, so I'm pulling the soil out and I'm putting it in my GreenStalk. And it will take, see, the soil is now causing the leaves to compact. And so I just push that down a little bit and compact the leaves a little bit more. And then I'll add some more soil. When I'm all said and done, I'll make sure that all the feet line up, and I'll show you how it's a little bit more stable. It takes several pots of this soil even now to fill up one section of the GreenStalk. I think the last section it took me 5 or 6 of these pots to go ahead and fill it up. And you do want to fill these up as high as you can. Not over the top of the hole in the center, but you definitely want them, it says fill soil to top. You want it all the way up. And the reason that is once you water it, it's going to compact down. And all of this soil is going to get compressed in here, and then it will hold the water. It will look a little bit better, but you don't want to put the soil in here too loose, because then when it compacts, you won't even be able to see your plants. They won't be able to get the sun that they need. But as you can see, this is what, my third or fourth? Let's see, I think this is my third pot. The pot that I'm using is an 8-inch mum pot, left over from my cells this last fall. That did about half a container. Do the other half. So that was 5, and it looks like I need at least 2 more. Let's see if this will do it though. We're still not up to the top yet. We're close though. There's a lot of people that worry about this little center tight, whether or not soil goes in there, clogs things up or not. It's not something I've ever had a problem with. You do have to occasionally stick a stick in there in case a spider's made its home in there, which I did notice a web a while ago. But yeah, this is pretty full. I could probably actually still get one more pot in here. The soil makes these very heavy, so the leaves help with that as well, as far as being able to pick them up, move them around, that kind of thing. But you can see that now that it's gotten heavy, this section here is actually pretty stable. Let's see here. If you're planting from pots, you can use the soil from the pots too, the little 4-inch pots that you get at the nursery, and add that to this section too, and that will help fill things up. But if you're planting from seed, you're going to want to fill this up as much as possible. And then you add this section here, and there, this one's pretty dirty. I apologize for that, but you can see there are these holes in here, and you want to line up each hole with each section. You do that to make sure that each plant gets watered, and watered well. If they're off in this section here, the water's only going to flow to the middle. It's not actually going to get to the plant. So you want to line that up, and if you line up one in the center, they're all lined up in the center, and that's one less thing you have to worry about. Then you add the next section, and you'll see this one was on the ground, so it's kind of dirty. But once again, this is very unstable, but once you start adding the soil, it'll be just fine. Over time, you might find that some of the soil has settled and you need to add a little bit more. You can just do that by adding it to the side, or take the sections apart and add it in. Lastly, when you're done, you're going to put the watering section on top, which clearly this one's not done yet. I'll do that here in a little bit off camera. But you put the watering section on top, and in the watering section, probably should have cleaned this out a little bit before we got to this point, but it actually shows you lines in here on the GreenStalk for watering, and you want to fill this all the way up. So when you're watering, you fill it all the way up. I do go ahead and water each section because that's just me. I'm in Oklahoma. Summertime, it gets really hot, and I want to make sure my plants get well watered. But you fill this up completely to the top while it's in here, and that water will filter down through these white sections, through the plant sections, all the way to the bottom. And then at the bottom, where you can't see it, there's a tube at the bottom that helps drain the rest of it. You can drain that off into another container and then use that water to water something else if you need to. But personally, I think GreenStalks are great. They're wonderful for strawberry towers, and as the strawberries put on more strawberries, you can stick them in the other sections to let them grow. Once they root, you can clip those away, and you can move them to someplace else, to another tower, to another planter. You can sell them if that is what you do, if you're a backyard seller. But GreenStalks are a great way to propagate plants. They're a great way to feed your family if you just need a small garden. They're a great way to beautify, I cannot speak today, beautify up your property with flowers. And once you water each day, you just spin it if you've got the spinner, which makes it very easy to make sure that your plants get all the sun that they need, is you use the spinner. Spinner has wheels, so that it also makes it very easy to transport. Let's see if I've got it locked or not. Transport the whole container without having to take it completely apart. That is really nice if you've got a bad back, or you just have difficulty moving heavy things, a little bit older. But you know, I think the GreenStalk is a wonderful investment. It's a great container. I've had a lot of luck with mine. I've had a lot of fun with mine. So if it's something that you're interested in, I'll make sure that my code is attached to this. And anytime they're having a sale, or if you're just wanting one today, you can go get a discount off the GreenStalk. All right, they do have new products with the GreenStalk as well. They have little windows you can put over your plants if you're growing from seed that allow them to be sort of greenhoused in here. They also have trellises that you can add that allow them to trellis off if you're growing something like cucumbers or peas or beans that they need a trellis system for. So anyway, well, that is all for today. That's all I've got for you right now. Um, let's see. Do have some more videos coming up, and I guess I will talk to you guys later. Y'all have a great day. See you in the next video. Bye now.